It's a Sunday today, and as I had promised, we'll have story time on every Sunday. So I'm here with a very interesting story that actually, says about faith in God. And frankly telling you, I really have great faith in God. Now when this story starts, we come to know about Dr. Stephens. Dr. Stephens is a very learned and a very, very intelligent, I must say, doctor, a very qualified doctor. And in fact, he had recently done a research through which a rare type of cancer, in fact, all types of cancer, and they were the rarest of the rarest, rare, very rare cases where, things become impossible to cure. So he had done a research and taken out a cure for all types of cancers. And then there was a conference and in some other place, and it was a global, big international conference, and all the learned and all the qualified doctors were invited over there, where Dr. Stephens was to be awarded. Like, he had to come, he had to give a lecture, he had to tell all about the research that he had done, and he had to be awarded in that conference. So very excited, Dr. Stephens, he would be known globally, and he had done something which was really extraordinary, and he had always wanted the world to know his name, and he had really worked hard, and now he was successful. So he was called there, and he had to be awarded in front of everybody, and he would be known globally now. So very, very happy he was, and he booked his tickets for the flight, and he boarded the plane. But something went wrong with the flight, and he had the whole flight, they had to land in some other place, and because the repairs had to be done, there was something wrong with the flight, with the airplane. So, Dr. Stephen had to reach the place at a particular time, because all over the world, doctors from all over the world were there, and everybody would be waiting for him. He was the guest of honor, and he had to, tell all about the research, and he had to and he was going to be awarded. So he wanted to be there on time, in fact, much before time. He was the main person over there, right? Who had been invited. So he went to the desk, to the receptionist, and he asked about the flight, how long it would take, or whether he could book some other flight, to reach early. So on checking the whole schedule and the details, the lady at the reception said that there was no other flight for that evening, and but she guided him correctly, because when she came to know that he was so and so person and had to reach quickly, so she said he could take a car because the way the journey was only 3 hours, and he could easily reach there much before 3 hours. So he was very happy about it, and that lady took the duty of arranging the car for him. But she said that he would have to drive on his own, and then he could leave the car there, because he was such a great personality, and the car would come back on its own, or they could send someone to get it. So because no drivers were available. Now he had no problem. He said all right, he had he could go on his own. So this is an old story, at that time they didn't have mobiles and all. So he took the car, he, took the map and all, and he started his journey by car. Now, on the way, there was, he felt that it was almost 2 hours over, and the lady had said the journey was of only 3 hours, so he was sure he was going to reach quickly. But suddenly, the weather got spoiled, and there was a great storm. And it started raining heavily. And in this, he missed a turn and he just drove off. But when he reached somewhere else, he realized that he had taken the wrong route. So, he turned back and he tried to find, but all through the way, it was all a jungle on the way. There was no civilized place, no civilization found, no house, no hotel, no markets. Where to find, where he was, how to find the way, which turn to take. So he kept driving on. It was raining, it was windy, and he reached a tattered old house. A house that was not in good condition. So still, he felt that there could be someone he could talk to. There must be a landline phone because mobiles were not there at that time. This is an old story I'm telling you. And so he thought that there would be someone who would help him, or he could come to know about the way, right? So he knocked at the door, and the door was opened by a very kind, old and very nice lady, she was a very, different personality. There are some people whom you look at and you suddenly, you feel very nice. So she was a very old and she had a very peaceful face. But, there was something on looking at her, she was a poor lady living in the tattered house, and she was old also. So he asked about the way, and she said that she could only tell the way if, it was light, because it was now dark. And so he asked for a landline phone, but she said she was so old and there was no electricity in that area. It was a very uncivilized jungle area. And she said, I have just lantern and candles here, and I don't have any phone. I'm sorry for this, She apologized because she felt that this person was in problem. So he said, that I had to reach a particular place, but right now he had lost his way. He told about everything. So this lady, she said that she could not help him regarding the electricity and all, but she said that she could not help with the, telephone thing, because she had no telephone and there was no electricity there. But she offered him, because she felt that that man was all wet and was very upset, was in a problem. So she offered him some tea. She said, you can come and rest here and have some tea, eat something, and then you can think about what to do. Maybe by that time the rain stops. So this man, he agreed. The lady told so nicely and politely, and then, now he felt maybe he would not be able to reach there on time, so he could stop for at least a cup of tea. He went inside and she made him sit at the table. She brought some, cookies to eat, whatever she had, and a hot cup of tea. And then she told him that she was praying before he had come, and she wanted to finish her prayers. So he saw the idol or the statue of God, and she sat there, and then he noticed, there were candles in the room because there was no electricity, and he noticed that there was a baby crib, right? A baby cradle, and a baby was there in the cradle. So, and but he didn't say anything. He quietly kept, sipping his tea, and he saw that that lady was, praying to God, and she was saying something, and again and again, she used to, when her prayer got over, she used to, touch the baby and say something, and then again start praying. She kept praying. So, he finished his tea, and then he saw that it is quite possible that this lady is in some problem. So he wanted to ask. So he, went up to her and saw a very small baby there sleeping in the cradle, in the crib, the baby crib. It's a cradle, a small bed which you can rock. So he went and, he tried to stop her, and he said, if you don't mind, I'm disturbing you in your prayers, but continuously you're praying and praying. Is something wrong? Can I help you? If you need money or something, I have a lot of money. I can definitely help you because you've helped me in this storm. It's so windy, and this cup of tea has really, relaxed me. I was so worried, but now since I can't reach there on time, it's okay. So, she said that, I don't know, I have, believed and have had faith in God since I was a baby. This lady says that I had a deep faith in God, but something has gone wrong, God has answered all my prayers except one. So we said, what is that? What has God not answered? And continuously you're praying one after the other, So she said, see, this is my grandson, and my grandson has got a rare type of cancer. And both the parents are out, and they are working till late to collect a lot of money because we need to contact a doctor who is a specialist in all types of cancers. So Dr. Stephens, he kept listening, and there were tears in Dr. Stephens' eyes, and he said, which doctor are you talking about? She said, I don't know how we will contact him because we are so poor. Right now, we are only working day and night to collect money to meet Dr. Stephens. We don't know where he stays, what he does, but he is the only one. We have shown our grandson to many, many doctors, and they all have said that the cure is with Dr. Stephens. So we are right now collecting money, and I am praying day and night. We somehow want to contact Dr. Stephens. We want to know where he lives, how we can contact him. We are, so poor that it's so difficult for us to, find out things and go to different places and to, get all the tests done, everything. So I am praying to God to take out a way so that we can meet Dr. Stephens and we can collect a lot of money so that the whatever the treatment is, the operation or the surgery, whatever has to take place can take place. So I am praying for my grandchild day and night. And she turned around, she was looking at God and she was looking at the baby, and then she turned around to look at that man, and Dr. Stephens was there. Dr. Stephens was crying. He said, I am shocked how God answers prayers of people in need. You are a true soul. She said, why? How can you say that? I'm praying day and night, but God is not answering this prayer, This is what I want. I don't want anything else. He said, I'm Dr. Stephens. And then, he reflected. He had booked the best flight, the most expensive one, because there would be people at the airport to receive him. He, was going to be known globally. He took that expensive flight, but something went wrong with that flight. There was no other flight that night. He took the car, which he never does. He drove the car. He could have left it because he didn't know. He wanted a driver, but he said it's all right, he would drive. He drove the car on his own. And then the weather got spoiled. It became windy. How he missed the turn. He had the whole map. This all happened, because God was taking Dr. Stephens to this lady's house. And just see how God answers the prayers of people who have true faith in God. She said, God has answered all my prayers except one. And there, just imagine, God sent Dr. Stephens himself. The surgery could be done now. He would not charge anything, maybe. He would not, yes. He was such a great specialist. He would definitely answer, whatever was God had directed him there. Her prayers were answered. Isn't it? Have true faith in God. Whenever you are in problem, just have faith in God. Talk to God once. He will definitely answer. Isn't it a nice story? It's already getting late. I love this. I get up every morning and I come and talk to Ganeshji. I talk to him every day and start my day by talking to him. And one more, small incident I'll tell you. It is about my father. My father, when he was young, one day I'll quickly rush with this. So my father was very young and, his friends came to his house and said that we are all going to Vrindavan in, some friend's marriage. So let's go. So, my father's father, my grandfather, was very reluctant to send, previously people didn't send children, just like that, anywhere out of station and all. So, on pestering, my father said, I want to go and they are going to Vrindavan and I want to go to the famous temple of, Thakurji, of Lord Krishna over there. So he said, I want to visit that also. I've never been to Vrindavan and I'm going for the marriage and then I can go there. So, they went there. And my father, he is a true devotee of God, day and night you see him and he's praying and praying, in fact, I tell him sometimes, Papa, please pray for me or something, because I feel he's so connected to God. And for me, my father is just like God, So he went there and he attended the marriage. But somehow one of the friends said, I have to leave tomorrow. I have some important work in the office. So, my father was like, oh, I wanted to visit that temple. And if you go in the morning, then I will not be able to visit. So, anyways, the friend said, all right, let's go there and let's try. So, it was just 7 p.m. at that time. It was getting 7 and the rickshaw man said that you're going to that temple at 7. It closes at 7. Why are you going at night? You can go in the morning. So still the friends and my father said, let's try. It's still 5 minutes are left. So we can try. I want to go and see where the temple is. Now we are sitting on your rickshaw. So anyways, that rickshaw man took him there. And these boys said, all right, you can go. They sent away the rickshaw because they could take the other one and the gate was closed. So the rickshaw man said, you can come back with me because the gate is closed. It's 7. So they said, all right, we'll just go round. We'll see the location. And there was a restaurant, a small dhaba there. So my father and all said that we'll have food and then we'll go later. We'll take another rickshaw. You may not wait, you go. As these boys, my father went and he looked, here and there, and then he could see a small Brahman inside and he was going there, from the garden. So my father, called him Guruji that way, Guruji, the temple is closed. So, that Brahman, he was a young man, he was bald, he had little tuft of hair here. And he came and he said to my father and 2-3 friends that, he looked at my father and said, oh, you have come. We have been waiting for you. Where were you? So my father was amazed and shocked and said, no, I've come here for the first time. You must be thinking, I may be resembling someone else. I don't know you. He said, no, we have been waiting for you. We had instructions that we have to open the door, the gate for you. So please come. And that sage, he opened the gate for my father and his 2-3 friends. And they were shocked. They said, all right, if he's opened, it's okay. Let's go round and do darshan. my father and my father's friends, they all went round. They, very nicely, it was all empty. Otherwise, it's very crowded in that temple. So they went and they prayed very nicely. And my father was very happy because a very good way, he had that darshan, we say. So he was very happy, and then he came back. So, there was one guard who came, and he said, when they were coming out, the guard said, "Oh, you come here. Who are you people? How did you come in? I just closed the gate 10 minutes back." So they said, "No, there was one sage who said they were waiting for us, and he opened the gate for us. There was a lock and he opened. He said, 'No, I have the keys with me and there are no other keys. Who opened the gate for you?'" So my father and my father's friends, they all turned around to look at each other's face, that who was that man. They described, he was this young boy who was bald and very nice, and the face had a different type of a glow, and he was a very young person, and he opened the key, the lock. He had the keys. He opened, these keys, these same keys he had, and he opened, and we went in for the darshan. He said he was waiting for us. So that guard said, "I don't know what you are saying. There is no young sage here. We have all old people here." There were some Panditji and all moving there. They were also called by the guard, and the Panditji and all also said, "No, there is no young person here." But my father and his friends did a very good darshan. What do you think? Who he was who opened the gate? It's just faith in God, Was he God himself? Whatever you feel, write in the comment section. All right? We'll meet next Sunday with a new story. Do take good care of yourself. Love you all. Bye-bye.